I've been a battlefield tour guide for a long time, and when I'm on a battlefield tour, I'm always trying to illustrate what it was like. And if you take the old adage that a picture is worth 1,000 words, I don't know how many words a VR video is worth.
What we specialize in is recreating history, recreating military history. And, when you opened that up into this VR world, which is not only does history need to be told properly, it needs to be told properly in 360 degrees.
As traditional filmmakers, everything is about, like the frame, and to kind of step out of that was a bit of a challenge.
We were attempting to move away from the realm of fantasy and firmly ground what happened in the realm of reality.
We went through a lot of iterations of that and kind of finally decided that we'd have these characters that would kind of carry us through all these moments on both sides of the Civil War, North and South. So it was kind of a narrative meets this, educational B-roll of a Civil War moment.
So once Shane and everybody got the script finalized, we had to figure out logistics for shooting. When you're filming for VR, you're seeing all 360 degrees around you. So location is extremely important.
We decided, okay, we need a set. We knew we'd need a trench. And why a trench? Well, we thought we could get away with a lot in 360 in a trench, and we were right.
When you build a trench, you're building walls, basically, and nobody's going to sit there and stare at a wall. They're going to stare at the action that's going on in the trench. So we're able to hide a lot more when we're in the trench rather than being above the trench.
We understood those limitations early on. When we went to Location Scout, we would set the camera up, bring footage back, and I would even sort of storyboard in 360 degrees. That planning, what we knew was going to be a tremendous challenge later on, helped save us a bit in post.
I think we really kind of pushed the limits of what we could do. We got a cable rig. We didn't know if it was going to be shaky, if it was going to work, if we were going to be able to paint it out in the end.
We spent so many hours planning this and taking the time and doing rehearsals and doing test shoots and looking at all the equipment we had, and the actors were incredible, and getting them up to speed and bringing them out days before we were shooting to memorize blocking and lines. And everyone was at the top of their game in terms of planning and figuring things out.
We had to get beyond the idea of continuity editing and film cuts in order to advance the story. And we were trying to think of these analogies, the most immediate of which, now we're doing live theater. A cut is technically a scene change.
That allowed us to kind of develop a scheme for how to work in an environment where we're bringing theater and film together into the same space, where we can let the actors do what they're supposed to do once we've rehearsed it to the point of perfection, and then we can step away and hide and let that action take place itself.
And the Knot is not only trying to tell a new story, but sort of like correct a lot of common misconceptions, and we're literally trying to do it 360 degrees. So as far as acting in a VR piece, I think the biggest thing to remember is all the quotes about you step in, you be the person, you leave.
So when we'd wrap for the end of the day, we hadn't really seen anything that we had shot. There was no way to review anything.
That was interesting from a director. You just don't know if you have it or not. And in some instances we didn't. And thank God for the patience of our motion graphics and compositing guys, painting stuff out and fixing some stuff that, just happens.
Post was still very challenging. After it was all shot. Most of that was just cleaning up the issue with these cameras. You don't have complete freedom to go anywhere that you want to. What's going on in this quadrant? What's going on in that quadrant? Try not to make too many things overlap.
When I first came into this project, it was already going. I just had question upon question about what was going on. We devised a solution so that as you're looking through on your own this video and it's playing forward, there's also this other layer of information that's quite nice. And I found that to be really, really interesting and an important part of the production in the end.
We hired a really amazing audio guy who we worked with, CJ Drumler. He came in and just gave it to us. I think what makes that thing successful, that audio track's amazing. Wherever you turn, that audio track becomes present, and you really experience it with the audio and the headphones. That's when you really can feel that. cannonballs whooshing over, and the screams, and some of what we were trying to convey, and to show what history's like.
It's pretty exciting, definitely, and seeing the end result and what the guys pulled together just goes to show you that it doesn't take these multi-million-dollar budgets to get 1 million people to look at your film.
The ultimate goal is to try to get closer and closer to the actual event. How can you bring people back in time or drag the past forward so that people can understand it a little bit better? And maybe, just maybe, they could say, aha, now I get it.